Can move at a pretty quick clip, and they can be here one and gone the next, but this is prompting a flood warning at least at this point. It is,
and it's a very small cross section of Bucks and Mercer counties, as you mentioned here. So Scudder's Falls down to Trenton and just a little bit further down the river is where there's an ice jam coming through right now. So it is a very localized issue, but there are obviously some major arteries that run through this area, and this could be a spot where the Delaware does flow out of its banks with a big chunk of ice that's working its way down. So this flood warning remains in effect until 5:30 this evening, but it's the only one that we have locally at least. So hopefully it'll stay that way. In the meantime, Storm Scan is bringing in some signs of life right now through the Midwest, our latest Clipper system. There are specific characteristics that go with Clippers. They usually move really quickly. They don't have a lot of moisture. They reinforce the cold. We're going to get 2 for 3 out of this one. It looks like this guy is going to try to hang out a little bit. It's still not expected to bring much more than some very modest snowfall accumulations, but it does also reinforce the cold. It's just the way this is moving through isn't your run-of-the-mill standard. So expect to see some snow, especially overspreading our area in more widespread coverage as early as tomorrow night. But even as early as tonight, far north, you could see a flurry or a snow shower, just the way this is rotating through and the energy is going to bypass us. It's all out of here later in the week then, but the cold air will in fact get reinforced. So with daytime highs in the 30s now, they stay that way for the next couple of days, and then your accumulations are minor, but a general 1 to 3 inches is the expectation for most of you. A little bit less near the shore, possibly even a little bit more if you go far enough north in the Poconos. Now, the 7-day is eventually going to rebound back to seasonable territory, but that takes until Friday. So most of the week is spent below average. But look at Sunday, 51 degrees for that next game, Nisha. Not bad.
No, not.
Katie Fehlinger, so we have some business to take care of. So looking in the distance, the weekend, of course, important, but some snow too?
Yes, absolutely. Seen some snow. It's another Clipper system moving in, and these Clippers tend to have very specific characteristics. This one is going to meet 2 of the typical 3. So I'll explain as we, move forward. But for now, there's just a lot of clouds. It's cold outside. Nothing too harsh. We don't have too much wind, thankfully, but it's something that you do need to be cognizant of, especially if you are maybe partaking in some volunteer activities here today, or you're just, making the regular commute. So let's get you out there. We'll show you what's happening first on Storm Scan, which is actually pretty empty right now here locally. We do have some clouds overhead, but that's really it. The sunshine really at a premium today. You're not going to see much of it, but with time, we'll see this next disturbance move in. It technically is a Clipper system, but once more, it's not your classic. The classics have 3 characteristics. They move quickly, they don't have a lot of moisture, and they do reinforce the cold. We get the last 2. So this is one that's going to kind of just hang out nearby for a little bit of extra time. And that's what's making it a little tricky when it comes to timing, but things are starting to come a lot more together at this point. So let's give you a sense of how this is all going to shake out. It's really just light snow. I don't expect much out of this. We'll get to the snow map in a second, but you see one front lift in here late tonight. So that could actually touch off a quick flurry or snow shower very far north, not here in the city, just really far north. Don't be shocked if you saw a couple of snowflakes. And then this band comes in, and this will likely move in for Tuesday night into Wednesday morning in the city, but it could come in as early as just the first half of tomorrow in the northwest half of our region. So it's kind of a split forecast when it comes to timing. It moves northwest to southeast, starts in the northwest half, eventually works its way southeast. So not everyone's getting hit at the exact same time, but we do end up with a pretty consistent forecast for amounts across the board. It just comes in at different times. So let's talk about, again, just in terms of bullet points. It'll move in tonight, but you won't see much precip out of this until tomorrow, and especially in the city, Tuesday night into Wednesday. With daytime highs stuck at best in the 30s, that means it's straight up snow. You're not going to see anything but that. But 1 to 3 inches is the general idea for most of us. Certainly here in Philly, you could see as much as 4 inches with up near the Pocono Mountains, just with all that cold in place, and then a coating to 1 is the worst you'll have to deal with out at the immediate shore points. But again, Tuesday night into Wednesday for Philly, so I do think the Wednesday morning drive is probably going to be the one that is most impacted by this, unless all of your travels keep you confined into the north and western counties. Then it's probably more of a midday issue for you tomorrow. Outside Whitfield Elementary School, here's one of the spots that'll see the snow first out in Berks County. This is technically just next door to Reading in West Lawn, PA, but things are very quiet. I don't think the kids have school in this district here today. Meanwhile, the rest of the afternoon at best we're in the low 30s here, so it is cold. Later on tonight, other than that stray flurry or snow shower far north, just clouds. We'll dip down only 27, so it's almost 10 degrees milder by comparison if you call 27 mild, but it's better than it was early this morning. Although you don't see much rebound here because once more, these clippers reinforce that cold. So we're just stuck in the 30s for the next couple of days. And again, the snow will linger as late as early Wednesday before starting to clear back out. Come Thursday, the sun is back. It's still cold. However, Friday, we finally crack a seasonable value here. 40 degrees, the expected high. And look at the warming trend. 51 never looked so good. And with a big game coming up on Sunday, there might be rain showers, but since we are so far out, I guarantee something's going to change there. So stick with us, and we'll fine-tune this the closer we get.
Maybe those warm temps will throw the Vikings.
That would be good.
Play in a dome, though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Thank you,
Good
Katie.
point.